Okay, so we are going turbo mode, catching up on all the rumors that have been popping up over the past few days, especially with the Alberta teams. We're going back over onto NHLTradeTalk.com and talking about a trade target that apparently the Edmonton Oilers players themselves would prefer to acquire. Now, in order to open up this entire conversation, we first got to head over to Columbus, because when it comes to the news that we had seen from this CBJ team yesterday, take a look at the update on social media. We have placed Adam Boqvist, Elvis Merzlikins, and Cole Sillinger all on the IR. We have also recalled Nick Blankenberg, Emil Benstrom, and Jet Greaves from the Cleveland Monsters. Now, you may be thinking, okay, what does this have to do with the Oilers? Well, the thing is, these guys right here, Boqvist, Merzlikins, Sillinger, you could very well say each of them could have been trade targets. Maybe Sillinger not so much, but Boqvist and Merzlikins? Oh hell yeah, these guys were involved in trade conversations in bulk the past few weeks. And the interesting part is how all of these guys got placed on the IR together. Like, there was a group evaluation done or something, or they all got injured at the same time. It's a very big coincidence, but okay, let's live with that for a little bit. Let's just assume that that is 100% factually correct and they all happen to get hurt on the same day. But either way, we're going to be talking about the goaltender in this conversation, Elvis Merzlikins. Because we had ourselves a comment made by Bob Stouffer on Oilers Now, CHED 630 Sports Talk Radio, wherein he goes over what exactly it is the Oilers situation is with Merzlikins. To help us out, we're going back over onto this article on NHLTradeTalk.com. Oilers players are said to be in favor of adding Elvis. It's being reported that if the Oilers make Merzlikins their primary target, the players would be in favor of the move. Take a look at this opening paragraph. Bob Stouffer and Daily Faceoff's Frank Saravelli spoke about the goaltending situation in Edmonton on Stouffer's Oilers Now show, specifically speaking about the prospect of adding Elvis Merzlikins in a trade from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Stouffer dropped an interesting nugget, saying the players would be in favor of bringing the netminder in. Both of them delve into the potential acquisition of Merzlikins, and Stouffer pointed out an intriguing aspect of the situation, highlighting that Merzlikins' agent, Gary Johansson, operates out of Edmonton, suggesting a possible connection for the trade. Additionally, Stouffer noted that both the Columbus Blue Jackets and Merzlikins are open to exploring a change of scenery. Now, okay, before we get into any more, that's a little bit of an interesting idea, isn't it? How apparently the Oilers players themselves would very much be a fan if they got Elvis Merzlikins onto their squad. Other than the geographical advantages of having an agent who operates out of Edmonton, what other ideas may be present here? Well, the next paragraph goes out there and says this. What adds a layer of fascination to the prospect of Merzlikins donning an Oilers jersey is the considerable respect Oilers players reportedly hold from him. Recognizing his strong performances in both the league and world championships, it seems the team is comfortable with the idea of Merzlikins guarding the net. This is not to say the players don't like Jack Campbell, but if a change is made, it sounds like the players wouldn't be opposed to Merzlikins being the chosen replacement. Now, when it comes to that Jack Campbell, we had been talking this entire time about how his AHL tenure was not going great. He had a whole bunch of bad games to start out his AHL campaign, and then he started to string together some wins, but then it came down crashing a little bit later on. It's been a roller coaster ride for Jack Campbell in the AHL, and at this point, if you want to get some semblance of consistency, if you wanted to give Campbell the opportunity to improve himself and get back into the Oilers system, he's gonna have to be a lot better. For now, Stuart Skinner has been holding down the fort. The Oilers have been winning games. They had a really good one yesterday against the Carolina Hurricanes, and Connor McDavid is going out there doing Connor McDavid-like things once again. So you could say that at this point in time, the Oilers may be riding the high. Maybe they don't need to make a goaltender now as desperately as they needed to, let's say 3 weeks ago, because they're starting to win more. They're starting to outscore their problems now, and you have a game like Carolina's yesterday where you only let in one goal. This is sort of becoming the trend now. Not to say that the Oilers' goaltending duo is perfect in Calvin Pickard and Stuart Skinner, and that Jack Campbell is the knight in shining armor ready to save everybody, but just right now, it doesn't really appear that they need to make that trade. Although, of course, you could say, hey, who cares about right now? The Oilers were built for the playoffs. It's cup or bust, baby. Like, that's exactly what McDavid said. Once you get into the postseason, can you rely on Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard, of all people, to help win you hockey games? Elvis Merzlikins probably has a better track record and is more so seen as a viable goaltender to help you win a Stanley Cup or to help you win a few playoff rounds at the very least, right? So, would they still be interested in this? It's apparent from this sentiment that the Oilers players themselves would actually like to see Merzlikins because apparently they respect the guy. Let's head back over onto the article and read the next piece here. In a recent statement, Merzlikins expressed a resolute focus on the present and future, emphasizing that he has worked on maintaining his mental resilience and blocking out external opinions. That includes a possible trade elsewhere. He said this: "I'm not thinking about the future and I completely don't care about the past, what happened. And I still don't care what people are saying, what they're talking about. That was my main problem last year, that I was maybe not focusing, but worrying instead about others would think about me." The article then divulges into a question about salary. The biggest issue with Merzlikins right now might not be his ability nor his playing style, it could be his contract. He's locked in for 3 more seasons at a $5.4 million cap hit. Even if he is an upgrade, how much of an upgrade is he? And is it worth it to worsen the Oilers' cap situation to add him? As the discussion around Merzlikins potentially joining the Oilers gains momentum, the goaltender's mental fortitude and on-ice prowess become key factors in the team's consideration. And that's a really intriguing idea as well, how, because Merzlikins has such a strong mental, let's just say, fortitude to his game, this is sort of the complete opposite of Jack Campbell. Not to say that Campbell is a bad goalie by any means, but he's definitely been bad this season, and a lot of that could be chalked up to all this mentality stuff. Not to say that Elvis Merzlikins is the one-stop shop solution for everything, but this guy seems to be like one of the main targets, and it's interesting to see him get placed onto the IR just days after these reports are leaked, alongside yet another Edmonton Oilers trade target in Adam Boqvist. Now, all conspiracy aside, because I know there are some people that would go out there and say, wait a minute, these guys are placed onto the IR together? Oh, they're probably going to get packaged together in a deal, right? Like, you know, there are some pundits that go out there and say stuff. But if you are an Edmonton Oilers fan, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Out of all the names we have talked about this season, we talked about the Jake Allens of the world, we talked about the James Reimers, we talked about the... who else? Linus Ullmark was involved there. Somebody from Buffalo, maybe. Montembeault, I guess, from the Oilers is also a conversation. What are your thoughts on Merzlikins apparently being the most valuable piece? Not in the eyes of the Oilers management, but in the eyes of the Oilers players. Apparently, they would like this guy the most. At least that's what's implied by the Stouffer and Saravelli radio hit on the CHED talk show. But either way, if you are an Edmonton Oilers fan, what is it that you would want to give up to Columbus in exchange for Elvis Merzlikins? If you're a Blue Jackets fan, what do you think Merzlikins is worth on the market? If it is not Merzlikins, if you think the Oilers were scouting these Columbus games because they want Spencer Martin instead, for example, then what are your thoughts on that? I can give you my 2 cents right here. Martin is like an anomaly. He's weird. He'll have like a 3-week stretch where he looks fantastic and then he'll totally crap the bed and become an AHL caliber guy. This is definitely not the player that I think you're looking for if you want consistency, and I say that as a Vancouver Canucks fan who was forced to watch Martin the past year and a half. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're an Oilers or a Blue Jackets fan, what are your thoughts about the Merzlikins conversation? I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.